Hi guys, it's Alex Silva here. I'm with Professor Deco. Today I'm gonna talk about leg locks. Okay, guys. Leg locks is one concept a lot of guys start to use now in tournaments. Okay, so back the time when long time ago when you talk about the leg locks, people don't usually like that. Okay, because the idea of BJJ tournament, it's always the concept to if you're on top you have to pass the guard, right? If you're on the bottom, you have to attempt sweep or submission. All right, so and for leg locks, it's not really necessary to follow these rules. Okay, so I can attempt foot locks from top position without passing his guard, my training partner's guard. Okay, I can attempt from the bottom, and I can attempt even bad position when somebody take mount on me or take my back. So it's a very good way to combine how to defend yourself and at the same time attack. Because always the concept when you're in the bad position, always you learn how to defend yourself first, get good position, and from that good position start to work for your attacks. Okay, and then once again, so leg lock is good because that you don't need to follow that kind of concept. Okay, so I'm gonna show some variation I like to do, talk a little bit about the concept. When I talk about if I'm on top, I don't necessarily need to pass my training part guard to attempt submission. I can give that example. For example, when I'm here on top, my part on the bottom, and then play here from far from my partner, always the idea in BJJ, you control one side, start to push, and end up on the side control, that's me like attack station, right? And from here can work armbar, chokes, or any option I have for this position. Okay, so the good thing the leg locks, sometimes the BJJ competitor just think about the up body, all right? Sometimes they forget the lower body, all right? So when you talk about lower body, up body, you talk about arms, chokes, all right? A lot of different kind of arm locks, omoplata, kimuras, and choke. Basically is that. So, but sometimes you forget you have the lower body to attack, okay? And there's not everyone can defend well the lower body, okay? So I'm going to start to show some basic attacks from when I'm on top, when I work to pass the guard, okay? One basic one that I like to do, it's here when I kind of between of my training part's leg, I'm gonna control the leg like this, control the knee, and they're gonna start to sitting down. But it's very important when I'm here, I use my foot to block my partner for he don't end up on top. Remember, when you talk about like a BJJ tournament and points, if I sit like that, but I let my partner go all the way on top, he's gonna get a points, right? It's a basically sweep me, right? So that's why when you hear, right? So I make sure I need to make sure he's not gonna end up on top. Okay? So I'm already here, control the leg. I like to control the knee because if you try to pull his leg now, I'm control the knee. All right. Sometimes if you just grab like this, that's gonna be his reaction. Okay, he's gonna pull out his leg. Okay, so I'm control or push me, exactly. So I'm control the leg, I'm control the knee. So now I'm gonna sit, place my foot on his hips. All right, now the first and most important here, you not rush for the submission. You might make sure you have the control. All right, don't let the guys come on top. All right, and don't let him escape. When I talk about control, I'm gonna talk about like pinch my legs together, squeeze my knees, and put my weight on his legs. All right. So if my part try to scoop back, he might carry me back or front. You see how he gonna kind of carry me. So that's the number one thing. Okay. So now I'm looking for control the leg here. I'm gonna use the opposite hand to create space and start to work on his Achilles. Right. Always I use the wrist, the sharp part of my arm, and I can grab my collar or this grip here, control my own hand. Okay, from here, I'm already control, I have the control that I want. Okay, so from now, I'm gonna start to If you see that I still on my elbow, I'm going to start to drop on my shoulder. All right, so now I'm going to start to arch back. Okay, that's the detail I like to use. I see a lot of guys try to finish from here with your elbow on the ground. So sometimes it still works, but it's a little bit harder to get this. The detail that I like to use, I put all my weight here. You see that, my shoulder on the ground. So now I start to arching back and look back. Then I have a very strong leverage to get the submission. Okay, so another variation you can do when you try to pass the guard. Sometimes have guys is a very good guard. You're not gonna be able to pass to go to side control and go to attack stage. Okay, so that's why people start using a lot of leg locks. Its base is gonna be the same entrance, okay, but a different variation. I'm here, I'm control, I control the knee, I'm here on the same spot, right? Remember what's the most important here? First, control. Don't let these guys come on top and don't let these guys go away, all right? Let's say if I'm here, I do all my details here, but for somehow I can't get the submission, right? This resist or flex or something. What I want to do, I want to release that and cross his leg here. Now I change to inside, all right? I grab with my opposite hand. From this position here, it's kind of like similar, but if you pay attention here, is the detail about the foot is gonna be different, because the first one, I might finish with extend his foot like this. When I change to outside, inside here, the foot going back and a little bit inside, right? So I change, I make my grip. So now it's important you grab your own collar, all right? So in the first one, I'm not gonna stay on my elbow, all right? So I'm not gonna stay on my shoulder like that. I might stay on my elbow. Now I'm gonna start arching back and look over my shoulder and get the submission, okay? Another good point from this position, because even if I still can't get the submission, always I can transition to pass the guard, all right? I leg drag and I end up on top position, okay? So basically that's how I use some entrance when the guys are playing guard, all right? So from that position you can combine with different one, okay? So now I'm gonna show another way that I like to use when my partner playing guard and I'm on top, okay? Faster, please. So now the first idea here, I'm playing like a bind standing, right? Control here. Sometimes I'm gonna play low, right? When I have my knees on the ground, or sometimes even one knee up, one knee down. Okay, I like to go with this entrance when you go under overpass. All right, sometimes I try to go, you're gonna block me. Maybe I can't go. What I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna control above his knee. All right, so now I'm gonna be kind of like a squat position here. Now I'm gonna lean back and I'm gonna cross my leg over his leg. You see that? So now I have control of his leg here. All right, then for this position, the idea will be similar, right? So I can cross here inside and get the submission, all right? Or sometimes I can go even outside here, okay? So that's kind of another entrance I like to work. So until now, I'm just talking about some kind of like straight ankle locks. Okay, so now I'm gonna talk about a little bit like a knee bar, toe holds. It's like kind of like some positions kind of allowed in IBJJF. Okay, so this one is I can transfer knee bar. All right, so so the idea here is similar when they go double unders or under over. All right, so from this position here, I like to slide my knee in opposite side here. All right, at the same time, I'm gonna pulse my hand. It's gonna be pretty base in here, and then slide all the way, and end up in this position. All right, so now I'm gonna just control his ankle, all right, and extend my hip, pull his foot close to me. Okay, so when you take from this position, it's very important to grab the heel, the ankle, okay? For the guys, not turn the angle here and then lose the leverage position, okay? So it's like an arm bar. When you go to arm bar, you might control the wrist. For the guys, don't turn around, okay? No spinning. So that's why you go here. If I control the ankle like this, it's gonna be hard for him spin around, right? I can finish my knee bar from this position, okay? So till now I talk about like when you're on top, right? So when you attempt like pass the guard and the guy's defense, and then you attempt the leg attacks, right? So it's a very good combine that I like to do, because like I say, sometimes you're not gonna be able to pass the guard, you always can attempt the legs, okay? So now I'm gonna talk about a little bit when do you on the bottom, all right? So if I'm playing guard now, all right, so I can attempt L sweeps, arm locks, or leg attacks, okay? One way I like to do here, it's when I kind of use this lever like a butterfly guard, I'm gonna lift him up, all right? And then from here, he's lock his leg, all right? See that? So then from here, I'm gonna pass his arm outside, okay? So I keep one hook up, okay? I'm gonna now pass my leg around him and bring him to this position, okay? From this position, now he's in very trouble position here, because I can attempt the submission both of his legs. Okay, the first one, I can go for the ankle lock, the straight lock. All right. Most of the time, you're gonna see him like a defense, like this. All right. So I'm gonna go attempt the another leg, lock my hands, and go for the calf slice. Okay. Or sometimes I can combine to knee bar. Knee bar, I'm gonna just kind of let go everything and go with my arm under his leg and get the knee bar. Okay, so this is like a one attack I like to do when I'm playing like on the bottom butterfly. Always the idea is lifting him to create angles to scramble the leg. Another position is similar you can do from the same entrance. It's gonna go straight to knee bar, okay? So I'm gonna show you. So now same thing here. When I lift him here, same entrance here, but instead I go all the way to the other leg. I go here, right? I get this position here, all right? Usually when I'm here, the guy's gonna try to turn that way. I'm gonna end up on the knee bar here, okay? So I can show you again. So then remember guys, sometimes when I attempt this position, I don't know how he's gonna react. Sometimes he's gonna spread his leg, sometimes he's gonna lock the leg. I'm gonna show the two variations for you again. If he's open, I go do the knee bar, the one I just did now. If he lock, I'm gonna do the previous one. Okay, so once again, we're gonna open the leg, I'm gonna take the knee bar. I lift him from here, look, I control, I scrum to the leg, his roll, I end up in this position. You guys know, so always make sure you control the ankle, bring his foot close to your chest. Sometimes the guys flex, you might use your hips extend, okay? So you guys see, this is when he's kind of like open his leg. But let's say now if you know that I can attempt that position, we're gonna lock his leg and don't give him space to scoop under the leg. Okay, then you combine to the other one. Okay, so it's a similar, I go here, but now he know I can't go under, right? So now I do the first one. I block it here, I keep control him with one of my hook, pass my leg around his leg, and on this position here. Okay, then remember from here, I can attempt my straight ankle lock. I can go, I can attempt the calf slice, right, which is this one, and I can face his leg and combine for knee bar. Okay, so another attack from the bottom, I use a lot too, is when I play my butterfly, but it's different angle. This the first two, I was using both hooks and I just elevate it like square from me. Okay, this one I use one hook, I'm gonna kick, I'm gonna defense, I'm gonna attempt the leg. Okay, you guys gonna watch. So now I go here, all right. So when I start to lift him, okay, maybe turn chain here. So look, I have this side under hook and this hook, right? So when I lift the hand like this, he pulls, right? What I want to do, I want to go under his leg, okay? And I pass my leg around his shin, his foot. See that? So now from here, I'm gonna just go and hug his hip and his thigh. Now I apply the pressure and get the submission. Okay? That one is a calf slice. Okay? So, same thing. Remember, guys, I'm just attempting the sweep. I didn't know I'm gonna end up in this position. But the way sometimes your part defends the position, you need to be ready to do your transition to other position. Can be other guard or other submission or some leg attacks. As today you talk about leg attacks, I'm gonna show you. Okay, I'm gonna show again. So look, I have the butterfly, I have this hook. When I take my sweep, he pulls, all right? You see his leg keeping hanging there. So I scoop my arm under his thigh and I get in close. See my leg pass around. I lock my legs as a finger four and I hug. From here, I squeeze and get the submission. Okay, guys. Like as you guys know, you see, I talk about a little bit when you top game, when you try to pass the guard, and they're not able to pass, you always can combine to the legs. So I give you some examples when you are on the bottom. Okay, but the good thing about leg locks, you can combine even when you're in a bad position. Okay, what I mean bad position? Sometimes you're in a bad spot. For example, somebody take my back, get the seat belt and hooks, or sometimes even the guy's mount, get the full mount on me. Okay, so usually when you think about that in BJJ, you gotta think, okay, I'm in a bad spot. Now I need to defend myself, escape, and then from that escape, try to play in good, arrive in good position. Okay. But the leg locks, the good thing is that sometimes even if I'm in bad position, I'm able to go straight away for my submission. Okay, I'm gonna show you first when the guys get the mount on me. Okay, so let's say if I'm here, Professor Tech get the mount, he's gonna play the safe way, with which like a control with his hands on the ground. Okay, of course, always when I'm here, my first goal is to defend myself by his submission. Okay. So, but I combine my defense, my escape, and my attack from him because maybe he not even expecting me go to the submission. Okay, so I'm here. The way I like to do, I can control the hips or sometimes even control the belt. Okay, so what I want to do from this position, I need to little explode here. I'm gonna do slow motion for you guys see, but usually you need to that kind of explode here to create that space to shift your legs under here. So now basically you kind of in single X that they call when I have one leg outside and block the hips and one leg inside. From this position I can create that leverage to push him and end up on the previous position, the first ever position you did today. Okay, so it's kind of like a single X, all right, but now I'm on top. The position started when I was on the bottom and his mountain. Then once again, you guys, know how to finish, but I will show again. Remember, I'm gonna pass my arm around his Achilles. I can control my collar or my hand. So when I go for the submission, I gotta drop my shoulder on the ground, right? So I have my elbow, so now I start to drop my shoulder and arching back and get the submission. Okay, gonna show one more time. So the position start here when you're in the bad spot, right? He's mounting me. I can grab the belt, or sometimes I can just cup the hips, right? So what I want to do, I need to bridge. At the same time, when I bridge, like explode, I'm gonna extend my arm to create that leverage here. So now I have a little space here to pass my legs around here. If the guy stay on that position, always I might think about kind of like a sweep concept, right? So I might squeeze here, I'm gonna control his leg, I'm gonna drive his body all the way to that side. Now I'm ready to attempt my leg attacks here, okay? So I'm gonna show again. So I'm gonna pass my arm around the Achilles. I have my elbow on the floor. I'm gonna drop my shoulder and marching back and get the submission, okay? So now another bad situation or bad position you can attempt the leg lock. It's when the guys take your back, okay? So remember, always when I talk about like a bad position and bad, so remember, you're always gonna concern about your defense, all right? So I'm here, I know he can choke me, I know how I need to try to escape, but I also can combine my defense, all right, and my submission attack. The way I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna tap on his leg. So what I want to do here, I want to put one of his hook out like that. You see, usually I will combine the concept of defense and attack. Why? Because if I talk about defense, always I try to go to the side he has the arm under, right? He have always one arm over, which one is the arm can choke me, and one arm under my armpit, okay? One arm over, one arm under. I need to always concern about the overarm, lock trap the another arm. Now I need to start to work to take out this hook. What I want to do now, I'm going to start to slide my hip to this side. Usually when I'm talking about defense, I want to put my back on the floor, start to kind of face to him, right? But for this situation, when I go, you can combine for one leg attack. So for example, I go here, I start to put this hook out. As soon as I pass my hip outside of his leg, I can start to work on this leg. I'm gonna start to grab the leg and lock my feet and attempt the knee bar, okay? So, but remember guys, once again, so every position when you talk about bad position to go straight to submission, you need to combine your defense first, your escape, and then you gotta attempt the attacks, okay? So you're never gonna rush straight for the attack. You have to make sure you know how to defend yourself before try to go for the attack, okay? So today guys, I talk about a little bit leg attacks, okay? Talk about when you're in top position, you need to pass the guard, but the guy is good guard, sometimes not able to pass. You can go for foot locks. Talk about when you're on the bottom playing guard, and when you're in kind of bad spot, which one is like a back mount and top mount, okay? So I hope you guys like the video, and see you next time.